January is supposed to be a slow month for whiskeys, but not for this guy. I got too many whiskeys per usual. So I'm gonna let you know all the bottles I missed on, I passed on, and I purchased in January 2025, along with all the prices and locations. So hopefully you guys will have a chance to get them as well. Let's go. Okay. Oh yeah. Welcome to Whiskmake. My name is David. Let's get straight to the bottles. First, the ones I passed on, or the ones I decided not to buy, and I'll give you the reasons why. The first bottle I passed on, it's kind of sad. I've been wanting it for all of 2024, but if I find it at a reasonable price, I miss it, or like this, it's too damn expensive. It's gonna be the Rare Character Limited Release batch number 1, in this case for 2024, coming in at $250 at High Times up in Costa Mesa. $250. It's supposed to be a $90 or $100 bottle. I know there might be an upcharge for some of these limited or these, hard to find releases, but 2.5 times? No, pass down that. The next bottle I passed on, maybe I shouldn't pass on it. It's getting great reviews. I heard it's fantastic. A lot of people tell me it's great. And my hand goes to it, but it just doesn't pull it, and I can't just take it to the cashier for some reason. It's gonna be the Still Austin Bottled and Bond 6-year, coming in at $80 at Total Wine. This one in Newport Beach. I don't know why. It just, the Still Austin cash drink coming in around $50 is so good. I just don't know if I should pay an extra $30 for this Bottled and Bond. I'm pretty sure it's good. I'm pretty sure I won't regret it, but it's something, it's like right in that borderline, right? If it was 60 bucks, I would absolutely get it. If it was 100 bucks, I would not even think twice about it. But at that 80, it's like, should I? And right now, I haven't got it yet. Maybe I will someday. The next bottle I passed on is actually, I saw it the same day at Total Wine & More in Newport Beach. But to me, just too expensive. It's a good one, but it's just too expensive. It's gonna be the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof, coming in a little bit over 119 proof, coming in at $140. I consider this to be really good whiskey, but I also consider it to be exactly at the same level as, let's say, Logic Rare Barrel Proof, Rare Breed, or Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proofs. Right around that $60, $70, maybe $80 max range. And for it to be $140 or twice the cost of those beautiful bottles, just can't do it. The next bottle, it's beautiful. I really want it. I've been wanting it for my entire whiskey career, but I never was able to get a bottle. It has eluded me, continue to do so just because of how expensive it is, just because of how popular. It's gonna be the Old Fitzgerald 11-year-old Bottled and Bond, the 2024 fall release, coming in at $350 at High Proof up in Fort. Now, considering what it is, it's not a bad price, right? I mean, secondary or resale market is $400, $450 plus. So this wasn't the worst price I've seen, but for me, I just can't do it. And I want an Old Fitzgerald, but hey, sometimes just gotta keep on passing. So the next bottle I passed on, the only reason I'm showing you this is because that actually makes me feel better about a past purchase I made that I thought was a dumb purchase at the time, but now, maybe I'm a genius. It's gonna be the Broke Hill from Rare Character, the 15-year-old, coming in at $1,000 at Bourbon Outfitters. And it's sold out, so somebody bought it. I mean, that is crazy. If you remember my November Whiskey Haul video where I bought the Broke Hill 15 for $600, and I passed up on the Russell's Reserve 15, the Booker's Reserve, and all this other great bottles to buy the Broke Hill for $600. And I thought it was the dumbest decision of my life. But considering what it is now and how much it is and what people actually pay for it, maybe I'm a genius. The next bottle I passed on, I also saw it at Bourbon Outfitters, and it intrigued me a lot. I actually was wanting to buy it until I saw the price. It's gonna be the Old Louisville American Light Whiskey, coming in at 18 years old and 150 plus proof, but at $500. I understand it's enormous proof and it's 18 years old, but it is American Light Whiskey. It should be a little bit cheaper. I mean, I was hoping for maybe 300 or something like that, but 500 plus tax plus shipping, and it ends up being 550 plus. Now, I had a pour of it and I absolutely loved it. It's the best thing in my life. Sure, why not? But obviously I've never had it, so I can't pull another I just couldn't do it. The stats are awesome. 18 years old, 150 proof plus, American light whiskey. I love American whiskey, but 500, just can't do it. And the next bottle I passed on, it's a brand I just don't like. And I heard some of their old stuff was really great, but I haven't gone into any of their stuff recently, and I don't think I will. It's gonna be the Orphan Barrel Faint Pursuit. It's a 17-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon coming in around $170 to $200 in multiple places. 17 years old, $170 to $200 is about $10 per year or a little bit above it, right? So which is a decent amount, but comes in at 92 proof. Just so low. If I wanted to pay that much for something that's 17 years old, I'll just get the Knob Creek 18 coming in at 100 proof around the same price. Or the Logic Craig 18-year-old coming around the same price and around the same proof. So it just doesn't, I just can't jump in to these multi-$100 bottles like a lot of people used to in 2021 and 2022. So maybe I'll have a pour and I'll like it, but right now, pass. Next are the bottles I missed out, or the ones I wanted to get, but I was too slow. Well, there's only 2 bottles. It's gonna be the Rare Character Limited Release 2025 Batch 1, both the bourbon and the rye coming in at $90 a piece on Bourbon Outfitters. I got the email saying, boom, it's released, check it out. I go right in, I click both, add one each to the cart, and right when I was checking out, it was already sold out. Like I said, I'm a huge Rare Character fan, and I want to get as much as possible, but I just can't get my hands on one. It's just, I don't want to say it is frustrating, but it's just frustrating. I'm gonna take a small break and ask you for a small favor to push that like button if you're really enjoying this content, because it really makes me feel good. It makes me want to create more videos, which again, can't be a bad thing. And I want to thank my Patreon YouTube members for keeping this channel going. Oh, and as part of the Patreon, you're invited to my Discord. And if you're in my Discord, you get a lot of these things that I find in real time, either be on Instagram, online, or if I find it in person, or whatever. So if you want to talk about whiskey, enjoy whiskey, and just have fun, and also find these in real time, join my Patreon. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. All right, enough bad news. Let's get to the good news, or the ones that I actually was able to get. The first bottle is a complete surprise. It was a gift. And it made me feel fantastic because obviously I like free whiskey. Who doesn't? It's gonna be Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Hero Selection coming at 134.2 proof. These are really hard to come by because I believe they're only in like military stores or military bases. And so I met up Danny just to do a sample exchange and just to talk about whiskey, right? It's really cool and fun to just talk about whiskey for a couple hours. But at the end, he's like, hey, I got something for you. I thought it was gonna be a couple samples. No, he, boom, brings out this bottle. He's like, hey, here it is. I'm like, all right, how much was it? He's like, no, it's a gift. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna decline it. Like I said, I love it, but geez, it's awesome and it's so cool. So I haven't opened it yet, and I'm going to. I heard these are just out of this world. So you know what? I'll enjoy it. Thanks, Danny. And the next bottle I got, it was sent by a cool distillery for me to do a review. Now, the cool thing is there's no obligation to do a review, so I could do it. I don't have to do it. And when I do one, I always tell them I'm gonna be honest about it. So if it's bad, I don't like it, I'm gonna let them know, or I'm gonna let you guys know, and they're perfectly cool with that. It's gonna be Barrel Foundation Double Barrel coming in at 100 proof, and again, sent by Barrel Craft Spirits. I actually really want to do a review of this. I'm really curious. The pricing is really good at $50 or $55 in most areas, and it's a double barrel. So I'm hoping that it will compete with a lot of the double oaks out there, because honestly, we need more good ones of those. And the next bottle I got, I really hope this is good. This brand or distillery has been stale for a couple of years. It needs to be re-energized. It needs to have a little bit more of, I guess, a momentum, because right now, a lot of people aren't talking about it. It's gonna be Four Roses Single Barrel, the 100 proof one. This one, the recipe OESO, coming in at $44 at Total Wine in Tustin. I know they came out with 3 recipes. I believe it was OESV and something else. Either way, these are half or less than half price of their Four Roses barrel strength single barrels, which are fantastic. But again, for a regular consumer, not us, I guess, in terms of just bourbon enthusiasts, but for a regular consumer who goes to a store, they see all these recipes, all these tiers, all these different stuff, and they look at it, it's $100, $110, $115. They don't know. They're just confused and they don't want to buy or try something that they have no idea about. But now with these recipes, with clear, tasting notes in the back, coming in at, again, 40, 45, maybe $50 at the most, now hopefully consumers will try this and then they'll get to other Four Roses brands. And so I really hope this is good. I ain't gonna do a review, and I'm hoping that Four Roses will continue to innovate and bring out some really good stuff. In the next bottles, well, this is a brand that I've been really liking these days. And so when I saw these come to California, I had to buy it. It's gonna be Penelope Estate Collection, the 9-year and the 10-year. The 9-year coming in at $90 at Cypress Craft, and the 10-year actually an assist from Whiskey Panda. And I got this, I guess, basically for around $100. Even though it's a $130 bottle, Whiskey Panda kind of helped me out a lot. And so that's really cool. But Penelope has been hot lately, right? You got their Capa series with their Rios, Valencias, and now the Havanas. And now with the Estate Collection, oh, it's been a really good couple of years for Penelope. And I'm hoping that this is great because we just need more good whiskeys at reasonable prices. Again, I believe this is a $80 to $90 bottle, the 9-year. And then the 10-year is about $130 to $140 depending on where you get it. In some places you can get it for even cheaper than that. So good whiskeys at decent prices with good age statements. Can't go wrong with that. And the next bottle I got, I've been wanting this for years. And actually how I got it is actually cooler than what I got. It's gonna be the Smoke Wagon Rare Limited, the 777, coming in at $130. And how I got it is really, really cool. So I went to a liquor store, and usually I just talk to the owner most of the time. I go in Saturday morning and be like, hey, how you doing? So I was talking to him. I was like, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 et cetera, the economy, all that good stuff. And then we were talking about whiskeys a little bit, what's coming new, what's coming on down the road. And I told him, I was like, hey, have you ever had the Smoke Wagon Rare Limited? And the owner was like, yeah, I think a couple of years ago he had a 10 or 11-year-old and all that good stuff. And he's like, it was amazing. I was like, damn. I was like, I never had one before. And I believe if you saw my Whiskey Haul video from last month, I actually missed this on either Seal Box or Bourbon Outfitters. I forgot exactly which one, but I missed it. And I told him, I was like, damn, I saw this. It's $150 and I was just too slow. And the owner was like, hey, the 777? I was like, yeah, the 777. He's like, hey, hold on a second. Goes to the back and brings this out. He's like, I just got this in today. And I wasn't gonna sell it to anybody because he only got 2 bottles, but he's like, hey, seems like you really want to drink this. And so I was like, yeah, man, I really, really want it. Of course, the price was pending. And I said, how much? He's like, you know what? The MSRP on this is $130. I'll give it to you for $130. I was like, ooh, that is so cool. Basically, the owner was telling me, hey, you didn't come here asking for anything allocated or doing this and all that stuff. He's like, hey, you really wanted it, you missed it, and you just were really curious about it. So I wanted to quench your curiosity on the Smoke Wagon Rare and Limited. And you know what? It's cool. Now, the only thing is I can't say which store it is because he's like, this is the last one. There's, I don't want people coming in and asking for it because I don't have it and I just feel bad. And I was like, all right, so I will abide by his request. But I wish I could say it just because I want to let them know like how cool they are, but hey, sometimes I'll just take it. The next bottle I got, it's a brand that you just saw a lot in either the past or the mist-ons, and finally I got this one. And actually it ended up being a lot cooler than what I expected. It's gonna be Rare Character, the PSB barrel, coming in at 131.28 proof, 8 years, 4 months, for $90 at High Proof up in Fullerton. So High Proof usually posts a lot of their new releases on their Instagram. I saw this, they're like, hey, this is available. I went right away and was able to get a bottle. Now, I regret I didn't get more than one. So the PSB, when I looked it up online, was supposed to be a Tennessee distilled whiskey, a Tennessee pot distilled whiskey that was picked by Pablo. And that sounded interesting to me. But when I actually got the bottle and looked at the back, it said it was distilled in Indiana, aged in Kentucky, and the mash bill is 70% corn, 25% rye, and 5% malted barley. That sounds absolutely cool. So it's basically MGP Ross and Squibb, aged in Kentucky with a mash bill that's very unique. And so the people that have tried it around here, they say this is fantastic. I want to try it and I want to do a review. I don't know what kind of video idea I have, but I'm going to do one because I love rare care. The next bottles I got was not on my radar at all, but it finished the top 10 bourbons on HDHD and it's bourbon night. And so after that, I was like, ooh, I'm kind of curious. And I got help from a friend who actually had to go really far in terms of where I am in order to get it. So I'm really grateful. It's gonna be the New Riff 80-year-old, the bourbon and the rye. The bourbon coming in at $67 and the rye at $60 up in C&H Liquor in Yucaipa, California. I don't know if I'm saying the city right, but either way, that city is about an hour and a half away from me. So there's no way I could get there. But a long time member, now a friend, lives up in Riverside. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna go to this liquor store. Is there anything that you might want? And I was like, I think I saw or they advertised this. And if you see it, can you buy it? And we'll meet up and I'll obviously pay you for these bottles. When he got there, he said, hey, there's one of each. Do you want it? Of course I wanted it. And so I was able to get these bottles. Again, it finished in a lot of people's top 10, top 20 of 2024. And it's 100 proof and it's only 80 years old. And everyone says it's fantastic. So I'm so excited to try this, but I wouldn't have the opportunity to try it without my friend Dana. Thank you so much. And the last bottle I got, the 2003 version of this, finished in my top 5 whiskeys of 2024. So obviously I had to get this year's version. But how I got it was kind of quirky. It's gonna be the Four Roses 2024 limited edition. This one I got for $240. And how I got it? Well, I have a friend who's really into single malts and scotches. So he actually knows a lot of sites and a lot of places that he could buy from Europe, because that's where all the cool, limited, and the distillery only single malts and scotches are available. But sometimes some cool bourbon is available at decent prices. So my friend was like, hey, I found the Four Roses limited 2024 and it's about whatever, $240 if we can get one more person and buy 3 bottles so we can kind of split the shipping. And so we were able to recruit one more friend, and again, we got it all. 3 bottles, 1 each for $240. But it is a 700 milliliter bottle instead of the 750 because it's an international version. So I do lose 50 milliliters, but if you think about it, $240, I mean, the MSRP in this is about $200. So with tax, it ends up close to $220. So I'm paying a little bit more and losing 50 milliliters, but you know what? That's if I ever find it at MSRP, which is, let's just be honest, really hard. So I would just do it like this, get it, you know what, enjoy. So let me know in the comments, what was your whiskey haul like in January? And out of these bottles, which was the one that you want me to review the most? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.